Welcome back, y'all. I know I have been gone for a minute. I haven't been recording these podcasts for a while. And part of that is just like, when I was doing this podcast at first, when I had Juicy Femininity for Black girls, right? I used to just do audio podcasts and I didn't have to worry about what my video looked like, how I was coming on camera, and any of those things. So when I decided to change this podcast, revamp it, call it Black and Wild and do video content with the podcast, I didn't realize that having to be on video would like make me procrastinate so much. It made me procrastinate so bad. Like I just was like, oh, well, I'm not ready. This is not a good day to film, blah, blah, blah. But now I just feel like, you know what? The whole reason why I started a podcast was because I wanted to have a place where I could just talk about all kinds of things and it didn't have to be super buttoned up and professional all the time, that I could just, share things that were on my mind, things that I were interested in. And I don't want to lose that just because, I've revamped the podcast. I don't want to lose that part of it because that is the real essence of this. It's like me doing this podcast is like me talking to one of my girlfriends, and I don't want to change that dynamic. So honestly, guys, if it's not seeing that these videos are going to be on YouTube and all that stuff, most of you are listening on Apple Podcasts, so maybe you're seeing a video. I don't even know. Does Apple Podcast show video when I record it? I don't know. But either way, I just feel like unless it's like a YouTube video that I've spent time creating, most of my podcasts are just going to be, I might be done up, I might not. Like I might be like ready, I might not. Today I am not really ready. I mean I'm dressed, but I just decided I'm not going to put this off any longer and I'm going to actually record something today. So here I am. And I'm not going to lie, the topic itself kind of scared me a little bit because while in the past my podcast topics have been more around, self-care and mindset and things like that, I haven't really dived deep into money talk, which I love talking about money, like with my homegirls and all of that. But coming online and talking about how much money I made really like freaks me out a bit. You know what I mean? How much money I'm making or whatever. Businesses and how they're doing. I kind of stay away from the numbers. I talk about business, I talk about ways to make money, but I tend to stay away from my numbers because I'm just a real private person. I'm scared to reveal that stuff sometimes. So today I am talking about my income streams, passive income streams that I've built over the past years. It is June now, so this month will make a year. Beginning of July was when I started building them. But I've been talking about this a bit on social media. I posted a few reels that have gone viral on how, I built multiple passive income streams to 250K in 9 months. And so I am here to do a full podcast episode to share how I did that and what was my mindset at the time. Last year, I was talking to you guys a lot about just like healing and all of those things. And during that healing process that I was sharing on Juicy Femininity for Black girls, those of you who are still listeners from that that time when I was doing that podcast, I was also building income streams to kind of stabilize my life. I was just in this new phase where I just wanted to change everything. I had recently gone through a breakup. I think it was about 6 months before I started building these passive income streams. I was in a long relationship for almost 8 years. And so I was just in this place where I just wanted to change up everything. But I'm going to get into all of that in this episode. So let's get started. All right, so I have my notes here and we're going to dive in. So in June 30th, 2022 was my last day at my last job. I put in my notice a month ahead of time. I didn't even put in a 2 weeks notice. I gave myself a month to kind of finish up everything that I was doing at my job or get as close to done as I could. And I took what I call a self-paid sabbatical that I plan to do for 6 months to say yes to all the things that I had been putting to the side and saying, oh, when I have time, I'll get to it. I'm going to try this. I'm going to do that. Oh, this is a great idea I have, but I can't do it right now. Let me wait until the time is better. And, that better time kind of never comes. You kind of just got to dive in. So I decided to live off my savings for 6 months and pursue these ideas. So I was truly willing to bet on myself. And honestly, the outcome was more than I expected. So I decided for the next 6 months, I was going to say yes to all the things. Now, most people would tell you to focus on one thing at a time, right? Like you hear that all the time, build one thing until it's profitable, then build a new thing. Or, focus on one thing. And then, once you've built that to something, then you start a new thing. For me, I felt like I'd already wasted enough time. And so I just wanted to do everything. And I wanted to enjoy the process of trying everything. I felt it wasn't necessarily about them all becoming profitable ideas. It was really just about me fulfilling my desire of trying something. Whether it made me money, whether it was successful or not, I can stop saying one day, and actually just do it. And maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't. Maybe I end up realizing I don't really like doing that thing or whatever. But I didn't want to put off things anymore. I wanted to do it all. So I did. And honestly, I would agree that in most cases, you should focus on one thing at a time. But in my case, I was actually able to do the things that I wanted to do and strategically build them step by step. And that wasn't something that I intentionally planned, but as I was trying these things, more insight came. As you do things, you realize that like your mind just opens up and like new ideas just come and you start to figure out things in ways that you couldn't have done just sitting and thinking about it. Like actually doing helps you to see how things can work out, and I was able to see how I could build multiple things without feeling overwhelmed, without feeling burnt out. And that's what I want to talk more about. So for the year, I said yes to rebuilding my coaching and consulting business. I'm going to name all the things that I did. So I said yes to rebuilding my coaching and consulting business. I built a short-term rental business. I built a laundry service business. And somehow people are super interested in that business, which was probably the easiest one to build. But I'm going to talk about that. And I focused on growing my podcast. Even though I wasn't necessarily making new episodes, I was able to leverage the episodes that I had already built to make money. We're going to talk about that. And I also grew a faceless YouTube and Instagram brand, which was super fun because I didn't have to be in front of the camera and you didn't have to wait 2 months for content because I was scared to be in front of the camera. Okay. I also said yes to starting a new career in tech sales. And that would give me more flexibility and time freedom than my previous career. And I said yes to homeschooling my kids, which I think I've shared a little bit about that on social media, but I want to share more about that because we're wrapping up the school year. We have probably about a week left to go on our curriculum, but which I created, by the way. And I want to talk about the progress of that in a future episode. If any of you are interested in that, leave a comment or, let me know that that's something that you're interested in. But yeah, I went into tech sales. So while I did take the 6 months, I'm going to tell you why I did end up looking for a job, despite building these income streams to multiple six figures in 9 months. So how did I make it work? Now, these are a lot of income streams, right? These are a lot of different things, but I know it sounds like a lot going on in my life, like at the time, but I was able to do it all because I also said yes to help. Okay. And this was big. This was big. I think one of the biggest lessons of this past year for me has been asking for help, calling on my village, and just saying, I need help. Just saying I need help takes so much weight off of your shoulders. I'm telling you, like, being able to ask for help, even in the smallest of ways, it doesn't even matter. It didn't even necessarily mean that like my friends and family had to like help me with my business. I hired people to help me with the business stuff or all these income streams and things like that. But, homeschooling my kids, I needed help, juggling all these things. I needed help. I'd spent that whole year before doing all this talking to you guys about prioritizing self-care. Like I talked about healing, I talked about slowing down, I talked about all these things, and I was listening. These were things I was living and learning myself as I was sharing it with you. So I knew that I needed to ask for support. And I promised that was probably the biggest thing for me. I don't think I would have been this successful. I don't think I would have successfully been able to build what I did if I hadn't been willing to accept help and make I need help the motto. Like I need help was the motto, okay? And so, yeah, like being able to do that made this not so hard. It made these things not feel like such stress or overwhelming endeavors to pursue. Most of my income streams involve a team so that I can have more time. I've learned after being in business for 9 years that paying for time is worth it. When we're in business, we focus on how much money we're going to spend on software to do this or to that, or, maybe Facebook ads, maybe all these things. Like you're thinking about those expenses, but we rarely think of like hiring someone as expense. We focus on paying ourselves and when I'm able to pay myself this amount of money, then I'll hire somebody. But you should hire somebody right away. You should be thinking about how to hire someone the same way you're thinking about all the other expenses that you're going to have in your business. So let's get into the results. How did it all work out? So let's break down each income stream and I'll go through how much I made and how I'm scaling so that it remains passive for me. Okay. All right. So the first one, the Airbnb arbitrage, was Airbnb arbitrage, right? I built a short-term rental business and I did that through Airbnb arbitrage or B&B arbitrage. Airbnb is, I'm using that as a name, even though I know that's a brand, but you know what I mean. If I say Airbnb, I feel like people understand what I mean versus I say short-term rentals. But I put these properties on Airbnb, on VRBO, on booking.com. So just know when I'm saying Airbnb, I'm not just using Airbnb, but Airbnb arbitrage, which is renting properties to put on Airbnb. And I made $82,113 from that. I did an Airbnb laundry service. So once I started doing the Airbnb arbitrage, I realized once I became an Airbnb host of sorts, right? I realized that when you're turning over a property, there's a lot of laundry that needs to be done. Like there's a lot. And so I also realized that if I'm having that problem, then so are other hosts. Like they probably have a lot of laundry that they need to do as well. So I started offering a laundry service to Airbnb hosts. Now, I did not do the laundry myself. I hired people to take care of the laundry. Even using laundromats, people have someone pick it up, take it to a laundromat, have the laundromat wash and fold, bring it on back, and then they pick it up and bring it back. So that was how I built that business. I also offered that laundry service to guests because, some guests are coming for vacation. They may not want to deal with laundry, even though you may have a washer and dryer in the unit. Maybe they don't want to deal with it, and so they'll hire my laundry business to pick up their laundry and service that laundry for them. From there, it started to build out into residential people in the area who wanted to have laundry service for their homes, right? So that was the second one. I made $43,297 from that one business, which was, I built that business. I got that business all set up in less than 30 days and was able to start servicing customers right away. And I don't actually do the service. So that is what we call a drop service, right? You've heard of drop shipping. Drop services is when you get the customer, you have someone else fulfill the service, you pay that person for their services, you take the money off the top, right? So Airbnb laundry service. I just gave y'all game right there. You could just use what I just told you to build that in your city. And because most of this is virtual for me, I can do that in any city, right? Because I don't necessarily have to be in that city in order to hire someone to pick up that laundry, take it somewhere, or service the laundry themselves and return it, right? I just have to have a system. I have to have a process. I have to have, a standard, because we do have a standard for how we want that laundry done, but I don't necessarily have to fulfill that service. So it's able to scale all over the US. Wherever Airbnbs are, you can be doing a laundry service. But there you go. I just gave you the goods on that. Third one was digital projects and coaching. So I made $101,143 from my coaching and courses digital products business. So I was selling digital products online through Etsy, through my website. And I also was selling courses. Some of you may know of my Higher Living program, my Higher Living Academy. It was another name before. High Vibe Living Club is now the Higher Living Academy. That is like a membership program, and it's a membership. So people sign up, they pay a monthly fee, and that's recurring revenue. As long as they stay in the academy, I get recurring revenue from that person every month. And then I did some coaching, which was coaching sessions, but also I don't do a lot of one-on-one coaching because I'm just at a place now where I can make money in different ways and I can do it digitally that scales better than me doing one-on-one coaching. One-on-one services, to do like a 3-month one-on-one coaching with me costs a little bit more than it used to 9 years ago. It costs a significant amount more. And because I know what I'm doing and I do this, like this is what I do. Coaching is my first love. Of all these things that I made money from, coaching is my favorite thing to do. But I am very selective of who the clients that I work with now, and I do it because I enjoy doing it. I can just do it because I enjoy doing it and not necessarily because it's my bread and butter. You know what I mean? So yes, digital project coaching, $101,143, right? And then podcast, I made $11,147 from podcast. And I know that's surprising, but that came from, if you look back on my podcast, I don't have like a bunch of episodes, right? I don't have like 200 plus episodes, but I was able to leverage the episodes that I did have to work, to get some deals with companies that I was able to scale into some revenue. So the Faceless YouTube channel and the Instagram made $6,402. And that is because it's fairly new. I've only had it for about 2 months. That is 2 months worth of revenue that at the time of me getting these numbers, this is just for the 9 months, right? At the time of me getting these numbers, that's how much I made. And it had only been, I had only been doing it for 2 months. So $6,042 for those 2 months. It's been about almost 5 months now, so that has more than doubled. And yeah, so that's those were my 5 income streams that I was able to scale to multiple six figures. If you add up all that total, it's about 144,000, I think, close to 150,000 in revenue. Right. So here are the 2 key things that helped me to build these 5 income streams to multiple six figures. Number 1 was reinvesting the revenue back into my business. I didn't pay myself from these income streams. Remember, I was living off my savings, so I focused on building a team over paying myself. Number 2, because I wasn't paying myself, was to eventually get stable income. More importantly, one that aligned with my vision of time freedom. So I used some of the savings that I was living off of to join a tech bootcamp, which allowed me to learn new skills that I was able to combine with my previous skills from my previous employment and find a new job in tech. And from this bootcamp, I was able to triple my previous salary, work a remote and flexible job, which meant I could create my own schedule. And because of this, I'm able to scale my income streams and homeschool my kids, not to mention just having multiple steady income streams coming in. I also feel like working in tech has improved my entrepreneurial skills tremendously because I've been able to become more confident in sales, and it's made me better at putting myself out there and like showcasing what I know and not being afraid to, share my success. I even talked at the beginning of this episode how nervous it was for me to just talk about the fact that I was able to make this amount of money in 9 months. I was so scared to tell people about that. Even like when I posted on social media, some of my friends were learning that for the first time because I'm not like a flashy person. My goal in making money is really just having security in my future and my children's future. I want them to be able to do all the things that they want to do without having to worry about money, right? And so that's my goal for why I build income streams. But I was always so scared to like share that success and like talk about myself or talk about, I felt like it was just bragging, right? And maybe that's just part of the programming that a lot of us have had growing up, especially as women, to kind of like tone ourselves down and not, you don't want to seem too braggadocious about, what you can do. And one thing I've always been good at is making money. That's something that I will always find a side hustle. My best friend says that all the time. She's like, one thing about Tanya, she always got a way to make some money. And it's true. Like I'm always looking at ways to make money. I don't think in my whole adult career I've ever just had a job and not had nothing on the side. Like I've always been doing stuff. I've always been trying to find ways to like double up, like flip this. I'm always thinking like that. And that's just the way my mind works. So I'm just in a place now where I want to share those things. I want to talk more about it. I love talking about money. I mean, not necessarily in a materialistic way, but like, how can we build it? How can we scale it? How can we invest it? How can we, flip it into more money? Like I'm always thinking like that. And while I have conversations like that with my family and my friends, like I want to have more conversations like that with you guys and, share more of that, my experience of building different income streams, building different businesses, failing at some businesses, figuring out how to do it in a way that aligns with my vision for my life. And, that might look different from you, from your vision for your life and how you should build a business for you or how you should build income streams for yourself. But just learning me and learning what my needs are, learning what the needs of my family is, and like creating based on that, creating and building and growing whatever I'm doing based on those things. And I want to help other people learn how to do that as well. Also, if you're interested in learning more about my tech journey and why I recommend it as one of the best options, if you need income while you're building a business, I honestly recommend going into tech sales for that reason, because it really helps you to develop as an entrepreneur. If you want to know more about that, leave a comment or, send a message, answer the Q&A question. If you're reviewing this on Spotify, I do post a question to tell me what you think about the episode. You can share there if you're interested in learning more about any of the topics that I shared today in terms of like homeschool, tech money, my tech journey, or like learning more about any of the income streams that I mentioned. Definitely send me a message and I will decide if I should do an episode on my tech journey. I'm leaning towards yes, but I also want to know what you guys think, because I want to make content that you guys care about, right? But you guys, it has been an amazing journey. I am so grateful for where I am right now and just the life that I'm able to create for my kids. It has been a roller coaster for real. It's been a roller coaster, just like good and bad, highs and lows, most of it fear driven, you know what I mean? Having to conquer some fears, having to step out on faith, that can feel scary. And that is a roller coaster ride. But I am loving every moment of it. I am enjoying it. I am enjoying what I'm learning about myself, what I'm learning about business, what I'm learning about creating income in a way that doesn't feel like I'm hustling all the time. I wanted to share my journey over these months to show you that if you are feeling a calling within you, that you are meant for something more. It doesn't mean that you aren't grateful. It just means that God is pushing you to your next level. And that's always a good thing. And if you feel like that time is now, I want to share my masterclass with you. I'm sharing a link with you in the description or in the show notes, wherever you're watching this from, to my free masterclass, Idea to Passive Income, where I walk you through how to build and scale passive income to 10K per month in 90 days, right? That's a big goal, but I'm telling you, it can be done if you follow these steps. I talk more about the income streams that I built. I go more in depth. It's a masterclass. It's not a webinar, guys, because I know webinars about an hour or so. You will learn about my program, Passive Income Empire, in that masterclass. So I'm giving you a heads up now. I do talk about a program that I am selling, but the masterclass itself is free, and the masterclass is a masterclass. You can learn a lot just from the masterclass alone. It is about an hour and 45 minutes. It is not, I put a lot into that masterclass to kind of give people, I gave a lot away, you know what I mean? So if you are interested in creating a drop service, if you're interested in creating a rental business, if you're interested in creating a digital products business, all of those I talk more in depth about, and what types of businesses you can create. I give a huge list of ideas of profitable income streams right now in 2023 that you could start and see money coming in the next few months. It's summer. It's a great time, especially for rentals, especially for different type of rental businesses. Some additional rental businesses that I have, while I talked about the Airbnb and the laundry business, which I was able to build on top of each other. I talk more about that, how to stack your income streams so that you can create multiple income streams without burning out, that they actually help make money for each other. One of those income streams is also like a baby gear rental, right? I'm a mother of a toddler who is grown out of strollers and high chairs and car seat, certain car seats. I still have those things, but I could use them as a rental. You know, some of my guests have children. Maybe they might need some baby care that they don't want to lug all that stuff from wherever they're traveling from. I offer that. That can make some money. I also have soft play and bounce house rentals. The photo booth and 360 photo rentals, those I've spoken to someone who, I don't necessarily have that business, but I know someone who does. And my God, the amount of money that person makes in a weekend just renting that is crazy. It's crazy. You know what I mean? So I talk more about that. I go more into depth about it. So if you're interested, go to the link below and sign up for that masterclass so that you can get access to that and learn how you can start to build and scale a passive income stream. And so that is the end of this episode. I'm finally back, guys. I hope I can. I'm going to stay consistent. I'm going to do my best to stay consistent and not, fall off. It is summertime though. But since I've been missing, I'm going to, hunker down and actually put out some new content for you guys. But let me know what you think of this episode. I know it's like a different thing for me, coming from more self-care and healing and mindset kind of stuff, but I'm talking about money, which is still related to mindset, y'all, and which is still related to healing. And because money got healing properties. I don't know if I know that, but just saying. You know what I mean? So let me know what you think of this episode. Let me know if you want me to talk about more money stuff, Let's have some more money talks. If you guys are interested in that, let me know. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next episode. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you later.